Oh, you think I'm strong?
Hey.
Ooh!
It's just that bubbly.
Yeah,
you know I hate.
That is so embarrassing. Hey y'all. Hi, my name is Trinity Williams and welcome to Talks with Trin. I have my beautiful sister here with me today. Introduce yourself.
My name is Trinity Williams. I'm into IT, so that's all y'all get. Y'all not gonna be able to look me up.
She is a multimillionaire in the IT department at
What the heck? You see? Calm down. No, bleep. I don't even got $1 million, let alone multiple.
To roll in with the podcast, y'all know every time we start a video, we got to start with our quote of the day. So the quote of the day is: mental health is not a destination, but a process. It's about how you drive and not where you're going. And this is from Noam Spencer. What did it say? I really like that one because I'm a person that always say, you know this, I always say it's always about your journey and not about the destination. I feel like people who always prioritize the destination more than appreciating or enjoying the journey never get the full satisfaction out of it. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel like I interpret it a tad bit different. To me, it seemed like more of the sense like it doesn't matter, like in a sense of like driving, like it don't matter if you got a Hellcat SRT or a Hoopty, you know what I mean? Like as long as you're on your road to get there and you get to your destination, that's all that matters, you know? No matter how many stops or, you know, how rough it is, as long as you're on your path and you get to your destination, that's what matters.
Yeah, and that's what, like, a quote, something I've been saying a lot lately is I love when they say comparison is a thief of joy. And I think that's kind of what you saying, is that like comparing your car, like I have a nicer car and I know it's probably people out there that compares and say, oh, you drive this, and they probably compare their life to mine and think, you know, I'm living so much lavish, but you know, sometimes I be broke.
Not related.
Look, okay, but I'm a college student. Realistically, I'm a college student, and sometimes I be broke. Sometimes people who stayed at home and work, y'all might have more money than me. Y'all don't even know it. So, like, your journey is your own. Appreciate that. You know, the car that you worked hard for and you deserve. Appreciate that. And I think that's kind of what you were saying. I like that we can kind of see it two different ways, and we can take one quote and give two different interpretations from that, you know.
A 6 and a 9. You gotta remember that.
A what?
A 6 and a 9. Where you standing, it can look like a 6, and to somebody else, it looks like a 9. So it's not wrong either way.
I like that. Where you get that from?
I've done so. You made me feel old asking questions like that.
Oh man, one of
these mini classes and courses.
Man,
back in
the day. Okay, we're gonna move into our main topic conversation today, and that is gonna be about therapy, tips about therapy, our personal experience, and things of that such. So we both have been in therapy before, and I want to just talk to you about why we decided to get into this conversation. But basically, we both feel that people go into therapy with the wrong mindset or perception. You know, there's already a stigma on therapy, especially in the Black community itself, but the ones that even do get into therapy, I feel like they don't give it a fair chance because their mindset or perception they have going into it. We're gonna start by telling our experience. She gotta go. Sorry, y'all. This is our dog, Chanel. Come
on. I ain't seen my man in a minute, girl.
My man. Thank you to my man. This is my dog over here, and she got this teddy bear that she be going ham on. I'm sorry to tell your business, Chanel. Okay, but we're gonna go and tell our personal experience with therapy. I low-key got a funny little experience, but I'm gonna have you go first. When you first started therapy, what was your idea going into it, and you know, how was your experience with it?
I've actually been to therapy twice. I first started therapy. The first time I went to therapy, I was 16 years old. I've always believed in therapy, though. I wanted to be a therapist. So it's just, I don't know, the communication, talking, being able to express how you feel in a safe space. Initially, that was my mindset with therapy, because that's what I felt like I could give to people. So like when I went into therapy, it was at a time where it was literally like, because of my situation, the only person that I can truly talk to is somebody that don't know me. Like the only way that I can have a conversation open and honestly with this person is if they have no idea what's happening, no idea, what I've done, my situation, or anything like that. So that was my first time getting into therapy, and it was like therapeutic, like exactly what it was supposed to be. I feel like my therapist, at the time, I didn't fully know what to expect. Again, I just wanted to have somebody that didn't have a bias to be able to say, okay, well, this is what has happened. This is why I feel like, I'm going through these situations. Mind you, this is before social media, before TikTok, before being able to like hear.
Girl, you telling your age. I ain't gonna talk about before social media. She not even that old, but why you just make yourself seem that?
Because that's the truth. Like, people just like, social media is not that old. That's what it is. I'm not old. Social media is just young as heck. That's what it is.
That just sound like ain't shit before social media came to age.
But yeah, I just needed, I wanted to be able to again say, because I went through a lot. I feel like when I was younger, I went through a lot that was making me, I felt like, be a type of way that I couldn't, express, even fully understand at the time. I just felt like I didn't have that in my inner circle because of the things that I did. It was just hard to see past, the bad and the mistakes and see hurt and pain and things like that. The second time, I was 23, so this was more recently, and this was after a breakup, and that's what we'll say about that one. But my second experience was more adult-like. I felt like I knew what I needed, and this time, rather than just needing an ear, I needed like honesty. And again, in a way that was unbiased, from somebody that wasn't my mom or my sister, that I didn't feel judged by. I can fully tell the truth. I can tell the truth. I can be honest about, things that happen. Because sometimes with your inner circle, not that you have to lie to people, but it's just like, sometimes your business is...
Yeah, like, they business. Always say when you're in a relationship, don't talk about what's going on in your relationship with family and close friends, because it's like, I can forgive you, but that family member won't. And I would say with my first relationship, I most definitely told y'all like a lot, which I wouldn't say was just like a horrible thing, but like my first relationship, I was best friends with his cousins. Like, she was my childhood best friend, and I would tell her everything about what's going on. She was like, what's happening with you and my cousin? I would tell her everything. I would tell you everything. And in my second relationship, it was just much more private, intimate, like what's going on in our relationship gonna stay in our relationship, and we gonna kind of like work through things together. I feel like my first one, everybody was in that mud. I think that's like very, very valid, because it's just, with family, they have a certain perception of you, and coming to me with some things, I can't give you I can't give you an unbiased opinion or unbiased reaction, because I really think it'd be the reaction. I don't know how to not do that, because it's just the love I have for you, I just couldn't. And vice versa. I think my experience with therapy kind of similar. The first time I was in therapy was my junior year in high school. I was probably 17, and it was my first like real depression. I would say it was kind of different. I know you always said you wanted to get in therapy growing up, but I never really thought about it. I never thought about doing therapy because I grew up a very happy, positive person, and I kind of thought therapy means like, oh, something really wrong with you, you need it. Kind of that mindset, and having to kind of accept, because it was a time where I needed it. To be honest, something was wrong, and it was something that I needed, and accepting that was hard for me, and I don't think people around me really helped. Like, it's just being honest, it didn't really help, honestly, because that not their fault totally, because just how you're raised, and how in the Black community we talk what therapy is, what it means. They just had a very different view and perception, but it didn't help me in my process, knowing that it was something that I needed, something that I had to like accept, is that like I knew how hurt and how hard of a time I was having, and that was something my parents, I say, didn't really understand, but they kind of told me that, like, I like, when I brought it up to them, it was kind of like, why do you need that type thing. So it was very, very hard getting into therapy, but it was the best thing ever. I would say, like, it truly saved me. Like, I got through that depressing time in my life. I needed somebody, like you said, very unbiased. I need somebody to help me understand these feelings that I had, that wasn't my mom or my sister or the people that I went to all the time. So the second time I went to therapy, more in my adulthood, when I was 20, because of a breakup. Give y'all a quick story time about my first therapist. So I did therapy through BetterHelp the second time, and the therapist they gave me was so ghetto. She basically told me, girl, you in your 20s, why are you even trying to settle down anyway? If I was you, I'd go get me 3 mans and build a roster. I was heartbroken. I literally just got my heart crushed. She said, get off me. She made me feel like you put your trust in the stupid how you figure. Like, she was like, why would you do that? Like, she literally told me, man can't be monogamous. That's not even possible. Like, why would you? She was like, they have to be very, very disciplined to do that. It's just not possible. Why would you even date in your 20s? A part of it, I am glad now that I can spend my 20s single. Like, I want to be single for a while just to enjoy myself and live life. Because most people who got married really, really young do say that they wish they took advantage of their 20s more. So, not fully alive, but I don't want to get off one man and get on 3 more. Like, yeah. That was kind of crazy. We have had good and bad experience, or just mid experience with therapy, but we want to talk about lead into therapy. I think it's something everybody could benefit from, but I think your mindset has to be right. So that goes to our first topic. We wanted to talk about the mindset that you should have going into therapy.
I had like a few different topics, or a few different things that came to mind when I thought about the mindset, because I actually was at church and I had somebody ask me, once I told them that I went to therapy, and they asked me, does it work? And I told them, I feel like it does work if you have the right mindset. And the way I think about it is that it's kind of like, when you go to other doctors, other places seeking help, like, yes, you can go to this doctor and they can give you the prescription that you need, but if you don't take the medicine, if you don't do your part to get better, then it's not going to work. It's not going to be beneficial. So I think that's the biggest thing with therapy, is understanding, like, this person isn't here to sit you in a room and heal you, and you cry one session and they write it down and you get out. Like, that's not the point of therapy. And if you go into this like it's this person's job to fix me, it's their job to fix me, then it's not going to be beneficial, because ultimately it's nobody's job but yours to fix you. So if you go into therapy thinking it's your therapist's job to fix you, you're going to continue to change therapists until you just like, okay, well, none of these therapists can fix me, I'm done.
Yeah. And you said, that's funny, you just saying like, oh, you just go in there and cry. You know, the movie type thing where you just lay down and just like talk and the therapist just squiggling. And like everybody probably think that's like the type what it is like with therapy. I feel like people view, and if it's something that you actually like haven't done, I think that's with anything in life. If it's something you haven't actually done, you know, you might have a, you know, mixed view. That's probably not what exactly is. But I think therapy is something so important, because I think you can make yourself believe something and get the wrong thing out of it, if that makes sense. Like, I'm saying you can make yourself believe that this person is supposed to fix me, and think I don't have to do no work. I think that go hand in hand with religion too. I think we pray and pray and pray like, God, do this for me, like, give me this job, but you won't even put in an application. Okay. Like, you know, and I think we expect stuff to just happen for us without doing any work, and that goes hand in hand with therapy too.
You're in this situation to continue to get better every day. I think the only thing that I would change about my experience with therapy is that before my official breakup, I kept talking, oh, I need to get back into therapy, oh, I need to do this, oh, I need to do that. But it wasn't until it's like, dang, I'm really at my rock bottom, like that's when I actually got into it. And it's kind of backwards that way, because sometimes it's like when you go to it at your wit's end, it's a little bit too late and it's harder. And I definitely feel like I experienced that, you know, in the back end, like in the second time of my therapies, and that goes into another point that we had made, because I felt like it was harder for me to be honest, because it was after so much that I had been through, that it was like, dang, I'm coming to this person with all this. I was supposed to been here before this even happened.
And I like with the honesty point, that's gonna be our second point, is because even though, you know, you saying you want something like somebody unbiased, you know, at the end of the day, like, because I felt like the therapist that I have right now, my therapist right now, I don't know, I have mixed emotions with her sometimes, because sometimes her reactions can come off a little judgy to me. And, you know, kind of like any relationship, you have to make somebody feel comfortable to come and talk to you. And therapists are supposed to be trained to do that. But at the end of the day, these are humans with human emotions and reactions. After I got out of my relationship, like, I knew I should have just like been alone. But I was like hanging out with this dude, and it just didn't go well, and I knew I just did not want to tell her. I was telling you, I was like, I know my therapist finna light me up. I know, and she did, I mean, as she should, but it's just sometimes like I was just really nervous. I found myself like really, really nervous coming to tell her and talking to her, and I'm like, I'm going to therapy. Like, I shouldn't feel like that, you know, but it's a real thing.
Not only the, you know, judgment that you are going to get from the other person, but it's also more so like that's you having to sit with like, dang, not necessarily like I'm a bad person, but like, you know, I did something bad, or I allowed this thing to happen to me that I knew I was too good for. It's embarrassment, right? It's the embarrassment that you feel more than the guilt or the judgment, because sometimes it don't even be
them. They probably like they probably heard of that situation over and over again, meeting after meeting after meeting. You know, it's like you know, you put more pressure on yourself than them actually taking it in. You know, sometimes it might be disappointment, but imagine the things that they've heard, imagine the people they talk to. It really be like inward, like you projecting or scared, or something like that,
And so that's why when you get into therapy, to remember, like, go in this when you are ready to be honest, not only with that person, but more with yourself. Because if you can't be honest with yourself, you're never going to be able to be honest with somebody else. And then if you can't be honest with your therapist, then you're here for no reason. They fixing a fake person, fake issues, fake mistakes. Like, so then it really becomes pointless, and you wasting your money and things like that. So
and therapy is not cheap.
It's not. And so it's really, that, be ready to be honest with yourself. And the last point is remembering that these people are human beings.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, your therapist is not a robot. They're not something that was built to, know everything, like the complete right from wrong, perfect, because there is no complete right from wrong. That's the big thing you have to
like perception is everything. Your point of view, like how you view things and how you take it. That's why your therapist can tell you something, but you're a grown adult. You're gonna do what you want to do at the end of the day. Even if they're telling you something you don't agree with. I could have been like, my therapist told me to go get 3 mans, I'm getting 5. Like that could have been the type of time that and that's when I realized this. She said she's been a therapist for 23 years. Ghetto, either way, but these are licensed. That's when I realized, yes, these are licensed professionals, but at the end of the day, there are people with their own point of views, with their own opinions, with their own triggers, and we have to take that in when we're going to see these therapies, because I think we think they like superheroes that
experience. Yeah. And I think you have to, the biggest thing with therapy is that it is a two-way street, and therapy is not going to work if you don't have the right therapist. That's the biggest thing. So you have to ask them questions, because they are human, and you're not going into this space to be fixed. You're going into this space looking for tools, looking for research. And
I think a good thing to ask yourself is, what am I going? What do I expect to get out of this? Because I think sometimes, like, people tell you therapy is a good thing, but not how you want to get it. Am I looking for somebody to listen because I don't have nobody to talk to? Because you see, the times we went to therapy, we needed 2 different things. That meaning we needed 2 different type of therapists. Because when my breakup, I couldn't use the therapist that was helping me with my depression, my relationship with family and all that. Like, I couldn't use her. She was there for the right time when I needed her, but I needed my therapist that was a little bit more hard and honest with me, so you got to think, what do I actually hope to get out of this? And look for that. Find somebody that can do that.
Yeah. And be willing to do the work.
Always.
Be willing to hear the hard things. And
because some people ain't never heard nobody say nothing about it. I think it was a part of that. Like, I don't even think it was always her being judgmental. It was some stuff that was just a heck of hard pill to swallow. That one of the hardest times I was having, nobody could tell me because they was feeling so bad.
And that's another thing that plays into, sometimes you need an unbiased opinion, because like she said, like, the hard things is like, regardless of if I had those hard things to tell you, because you are my little sister going through a thing, I'm not going to tell you.
You're just feeling that, and that's what I realized, and that's why I appreciate her so much, because the things I needed to hear, she said. I'm not gonna lie. And so but you have to be open to hear that. And I had to realize, even though sometimes I do think she's a little hard, and she is like, dang girl, but I need her. At this time in my life, I need her. I have people around me that feel bad for me, who just want to hug me and care for me and love me. I need somebody to tell me what I need to hear. And she was just that, literally. That is all for our podcast. I really hope y'all learned something. Every therapy It's for everybody. Honestly,
it is
I
for
really
everybody.
wish
Different types of therapy.
everybody,
Just like there's a chiropractor and there's a dentist and there's a dermatologist and that's all on your body. An eye doctor, a dermatologist, a dentist. That's all in your face.
If you do random checkups, why? And like, if something doesn't have to be wrong for you to go to the doctor, why does something have to be wrong for you to see a therapist? I think there's always something going on in your life that you can seek professional help, guidance, professional guidance with.
That's what you gotta understand. Therapy is like, we all trying to get through this journey. I've done some things, that got me a little fire on my stick. Let me try to help you through this situation. It is for everybody, as long as you go into it with the right mindset, know what you're looking for, and trial and error.
It's trial and error.
Like everything else. Sometimes you have to get a new doctor when one doctor, doesn't understand.
And I wonder, why don't we think of therapy like that? Like, why do we not think of it like other doctors? But that's what conversations like this is for us to start changing our view on it and start looking at it in a very, very healthy way. Oh my God, fit check. Oh my God.
Don't play with it, okay?
Y'all want to see my fit check? Haram, babe.
Help.
Yeah.
Help.
That is gonna wrap up our video today. Thank you, sister, for being here. We really, I really want to start our own podcast channel though, because I think we're just a dynamic duo, elite team. So
I'm not hungry. Good, as long as I got
vlog about that
coming.
Hangry. She the definition of it.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So nice. Okay, and remember to give me feedback, like, comment, and subscribe, and see y'all later. Bye. Wait. Redo that way. Wait. Bye.